Assalamualaikum and very good morning to our lecturer, Sir Faris bin Ismail. So today our group will be presenting the topic regarding green product and consumer behavior. My name is Faris Zakwan bin Fauzi and I will be the first presenter for our group. As you can see in the part of our introduction, I will be explaining regarding of the introduction. Second, follow up with the summary of the case study, and also the third, which is regarding the ethics concept. So moving on the first slide of introduction, it is an issue that have been highlighted by media regarding to the effect of the use of plastic in our daily life. As we know, the use of plastic bag, the use of polystyrene, and even plastic bottles or any kind of plastic materials and product. So those kind of product actually produce side effect, which is it can cause huge to the government. It also produce a sense of harm to our living things. So we need to view in a bigger perspective regarding the use of those kind of plastic materials to our environment. So after, if I'm not mistaken, back in 1990s, where most of the brand marketers and even company that produce a product, they have made an innovation, which is a process that gone through regarding of producing an eco-friendly product, or known as green product. So basically, green product is a product that, it's a product that most of people don't aware what kind of product, that ingredients that they use. So a question is arise around us. So in order to justify the question, most of the brand or marketers and even company that produce green product, they stated that green product actually is a product that using of reused and recyclable materials in order to produce a product that also can be used in our daily life and routine. So as a summary of our case study, the purchasing of a green product by the consumer do have an associate with personal preference, as well personal behavior, as well as also their preference, which mean that when someone purchase of the green product, they are likely being more ethical, being more considerate, being more responsible, and also being more what we call friendly towards another person. So it have an associate, or the relationship has exist that we can see when someone or the consumer purchasing the green product, and also what kind of the personality or what kind of the personal behavior that they show to the other people. So in our case study, the statement also been opposed, especially by Nina Mazar and Chen Bozong, which is both psychologists that conducted the research in our case study. So they came out with a statement that showed that the moral licensing effect will only occur according to the personal discretion. And actually, when they came out of those kind of statement, they have made a study and also conducted an actual research. Especially in their statement, they stated that they conducted in the shopping complex in order to justify their statement, to show that when you have purchased a green product, you are also tend to show or to indicate that you also being more considerate, being more friendly towards another individual. But there's effect, or there's opposite towards that kind of behavior, which is you also might be tend to steal some money, might tend to make a false statement, or in simple definition, you tend to cheat on another person. So we need to look into those part into our discussion. Now we are moving on the second slide, which is regarding of the ethic theory. So as you can see in the second slide, we actually can refer the ethic theory, which is regarding towards the fundamental concept of the moral philosophy, especially in terms of normative ethics. So here I will explain regarding of normative ethics. So normative ethics here is referred to a set of principles that actually guide a person behavior, especially in which it provide only two we call two paths, which is either they want to choose right one or either bad one. So depending on the personality of the kind of that person. So based in our case study, we also can refer to the virtue ethics, in which it also considered as part of the normative ethics. In our case study, it stated that a person should possess a balance between his or her personality, because in order to achieve a balance, they need to eliminate any excess or deficiency in their personality. So because when they have a balance in their personality, so they tend to show also a balance between right and wrong. So they know how to control, how to indicate towards other people. But it's also difficult to determine the perspective of human being, because as I mentioned before, human personality is different. When we look into a concept of psychology, each person have their own personality, and they can choose whether right or wrong, and they also able to determine themselves. So it's kind of difficult to tell and to identify their personality, because each person is totally different. So we need to come up with we need to we need to identify based on their personality based on certain tests. And as in our case study, there's also lack of evidence that can prove the statement of the both psychologists, which is Mazar and also Chen, regarding of the moral licensing effect take place, because easy to say that each person have their own personality and characteristic that they possess.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hafidzah Binti Ismail, and I will continue this presentation by starting with discussion question number 1. Okay, so this question asks what are the types of products might bring about similar kinds of moral licensing effects. So first of all, moral licensing effect, it is a non-conscious effect by providing a moral boost in the self-concept, which will increase the preferences for immoral action. It means that people that have acted in good way, in ethical way, they will then acted in immoral and unethical way after that. This is because they are fully satisfied with their good action before this. Okay, so for example, in this case study, this green consumer, which they have acted in good way, which refer that they bought organic food, then they tend to buy indulgent products such as ice cream, cookies, chocolate, and so on. And this indulgent product, it is like it shows that they did unethical action. Okay, so the type of products that might bring about similar kinds of moral licensing effect. For example, the people that buying original phone. For example, I choose iPhone. Okay, people that buy original iPhone because they are satisfied that they already bought the original version of the iPhone. They will buy maybe a fake or maybe a copy or product. This product can be like the USB charger, the power adapter, the earphone, the AirPod, and so on. This is because they are already satisfied that they have bought the original version of the iPhone, and they think that it is okay for them to buy a not original for the accessories of the iPhone. Okay, next. The second example is buying original laptop. Okay, as we all know, when we buy the laptop, of course it is original. When we buy the original laptop, it comes with software, and sometimes the software have their limit, like maybe like 1 year of use and it will be expired. So the people that buy a laptop will act in unethical way after that by buying a cracked version of software. This can be through buying cracked version of software or also installing a hacked version of software. For example, like buying maybe Microsoft Office 365, the cracked version, or maybe installing Adobe Photoshop, the cracked version. So this is because they already satisfied that they have bought the laptop with the original quality and price, and they think that it is okay for them to install the cracked version of software. Moving on, question number 1 also asks example in my own life when my purchase choices have licensed me to make decisions that were less than ethically ideal. So to be honest, recently I have bought a cracked version of a software to my laptop, which is called Microsoft Project. Before I bought this cracked version, I have tried my best to install the original version, the original free trial version, which is directly from the Microsoft website. However, it gives a lot of problem. It is time consuming. It consumes a lot of time, and I have wasted a lot of time just to install the free trial version onto my laptop. So because I did not want to trouble myself and also waste my time, I just searched for the cracked version for this Microsoft project. I bought it with a lower price, and surprisingly, this cracked version is easy to install and it doesn't consume a lot of time. It is easy to install compared to the free trial version. I know that I am not fully supporting the developer, the original version, but I'm sorry for that. The reasons that I installed the cracked version, this is because I am fully satisfied with myself that I tried to add in a good way. I tried to install the original version, but however, it is hard, it is time consuming that I decided to just install the cracked version. Other than that, for my personal experience, during my school year, for the preparation before sitting for SPM, as a student, I have bought a lot of reference book, exercises book, and also past year examination book for preparation before sitting SPM. And however, even though I bought a lot of books, I don't really do the exercise in the book. This is because I am fully satisfied that I have acted in ethical way, which is I have bought books from the bookstore that it made me satisfied that I'm like, oh, I now have the preparation before sitting for SPM. So because of that, this moral licensing effect has affected me, which then makes me act in immoral way, which is I did not really finish the question in the book. So I think that's all for my personal experience. Next, we will further this discussion on question number 2, which I think that these moral licensing effects are not common across all kinds of green consumer. There are other factors that will influence these moral licensing effects. Okay, first we have the demographic factor. Demographic factor, for example, age. People that are younger will have this moral licensing effect is higher compared to the people that is older. This is because younger people love to experience new things and they love to try new things also. While older people, since they have lived for a long time, they have a lot of experience and they are not interested about this moral licensing effect anymore. Secondly, gender. Gender we have two gender in this world, which is male and female. I think that female has a higher moral licensing effect compared to the male. This is because female love to buy a lot. They love shopping. It is part of their hobby. So they love to experience new things, and also this moral licensing effect is higher compared to the moral licensing effect on male itself. The second factor that might exacerbate and weaken this moral licensing effect is psychographic factors. As for example, is opinions, like different people have their own different opinion. So these people that have already acted in good manner think that it is not okay for them to act in unethical way after that. This is like because they strongly believe that acting in unethical way can tarnish their image of being acted in good way. So to keep the image of his ethical behavior, they have to avoid from doing this unethical action. Next is personality. Personality is like a characteristic or behavior of that person. Like each person is born with unique and different personality and behavior. If they have been taught from small that it is not okay for them to act in an immoral way, then they think that this moral licensing effect is lower will lower, and this will weaken this moral licensing effects on them. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Referring to the question 3 of the discussion questions, Maza and Zhong found the opposite finding to what they had hoped for the study. This is because, in my opinion, they forget that there are several factors that they need to weigh in as well. Number one is that buying green products does not necessarily or guarantee that the customers or consumer will have will be kinder, have more positive behavior, more altruistic to other people. This is because usually the consumption of any item whatsoever usually correlates to the factors of the buying preference of the consumer and also the consumer's budget. This can be referred to how most people, when they have a higher level of income, they tend to spend on much more expensive items as compared to people who have lower income. They will usually spend their money on something which is less expensive. So for instance, green products usually cost difference, usually cost a little bit expensive compared to conventional products, which means that it is correlate to the factor of the customers' buying preference and also customers' budget with the item that they buy. Next, the finding that Maza and Zhong found has the opposite finding, because sometimes the consumer buys the green product out of curiosity of wanting to try something new. For instance, even for me, when I go to the supermarket, I usually have the tendencies to buy something that intrigue me to try and in the first place. So for some people, at some point they would like to try something new. So if they haven't tried any green products before, maybe they would like to try the product at that time, and that time happens to be on the day that the Maza and Zhong conducts their study. So I believe that the finding, this situation could also affect the findings of their study. Last but not least, with Maza and Zhong has set a certain indicator or have set a certain benchmark of whereby people who consume green products as having purely positive behavior will only tend making people who did consume the product to become people who have the attitude of holier than thou for being righteous, which means that the people who did not consume the green product, and as if they are having a really will feel bad about themselves. So this is where the licensing effect takes place, whereby when someone has said that eating green product, which means that you are a good person, someone who has positive attitude, positive behaviors, this will make the people who did not consume the food will feel like they will feel less about themselves. Moving on to the next question of the discussion, which is what are the steps that can be done to help minimize or mitigate the problem of licensing effect among green consumers? In my opinion, the several steps that can be taken is by giving out discount on the green products. By giving out discounts on the green products can help to promote green consumption among the consumers, whether it can be among the green consumers and also non-green consumers. Since consuming green products have a better benefit to the consumers, it will also help promote a better health among the consumers. Hence, with more people buying more green product at the discounted price, the licensing effect can be minimized, since the green consumer cannot claim that they are the only one who buys the green product, since the green product they can be bought by other consumers as well. The next step is to give out extra points to the consumers who are voluntarily using eco-friendly bags each time they make their spending at the supermarket. For examples, Tesco, for instance, have been implementing this step by giving out extra points to their customers who are using eco-friendly bags. By 10 points if the customer use the eco-friendly bags of their brand, which is Tesco, and for the people who did not use their brand, they can still claim for, they can still be rewarded with the extra point of using eco-friendly bags, but only at 4 points only. But then again, this is one of the good initiative that can help promote green sustainability among the consumers, and also minimize the licensing effect among the green consumers, because this does not necessarily means that they are the only person who can use the eco-friendly bag and being righteous. Other peoples also can. Another step is to mitigate the licensing effect among green consumer is by facilitating them to identify which are the conventional products can be used as the eco-friendly alternative. This is because most of the green consumer which are strictly using the green product will disregard using the conventional product. But then by helping them to identify which product are eco-friendly as well, will help them to use the conventional product, which means that they cannot look down on the conventional product as having lesser value compared to the green products. This eventually will help to minimize the licensing effect among the green consumers. Another step is by initiating a campaign that can help promote sustainability. This kind of campaign can be seen to the effort of the big brands such as The Body Shop and also H&M. The Body Shop has initiated an initiative whereby the customers can make a trade-in of their empty bottles of containers of their previous item and buy the new item with a lesser price once they trade in the empty bottles at the shop. Apart from the Body Shop, apparel lines such as H&M also has created or initiated a closed recycling scheme whereby the customer of H&M can bring their old apparel to the store and give the old clothes at any condition of any brands to be recycled. Once they provide the old clothes to be recycled, H&M will reward them a discount of at least 10% to buy a new item in the shop. Such campaigns that promote sustainability can help mitigate the licensing effect among green consumers, because this kind of campaign can be participated by every other consumers apart from green consumers. Last but not least, another step that can be taken is by creating a section of ready to cook or ready to eat product at the shelf of supermarket. This kind of effort can help minimize the licensing effect among the green consumers, because they can help the consumers, despite not only the green consumers but also other consumers, to feel good about themselves rather than being ashamed that they do sometimes need a little shortcut in the kitchen to prepare meals for themselves.
Now we are at the last part of our discussion, which is the fifth question. Okay, I started with that there are many factors that can affect the consumer behavior, especially one of the factors that we can see around us in our surrounding and our routine daily life is that regarding in terms of marketing campaign. Okay, quick fact here is that marketing campaign actually do influence the purchasing power and also decision making of the consumer. So in simple word, marketing plan is a powerful medium or platform that mostly used by marketers out there and also company in order to product their market and to attract the interest of their potential customer maybe. So as a brand manager, in my opinion, regarding of how I want to highlight the green product and also to attract the interest of the potential consumer out there, is that I did notice marketing campaign is very important, especially to attract the attention of the customer. That's a fact that cannot be denied because we can see in our daily life. So in order to draw their attention, I believe that I would like to take an opportunity such as participate in the community events or even green product festival, or as some we call Go Green exhibition that conducted maybe like once in a year or twice in a year, because in this big event, in this platform especially, I believe that I can illustrate, I can describe and justify to the customer, to the consumer out there, the importance of green product in our daily life, which is why I believe that and I choose this platform to spread the awareness to the people, especially because there, based on the research, I believe also the figure stated that consumer out there, they know, they also well known for the green product and also the effect, but the main part that block them from getting the news is kind of awareness that they need. So as a second part, which is I also believe that there are various campaigns that can be done, such as involved in media conference, using of advertising in YouTube channel, using advertising in many other platforms, especially in Google's, in other website, and also having a relationship or having a what we call collaboration in TV advertisement. So those kind of advertising is part of the marketing campaign. I also believe that when we have updates our website, our company website, regarding of our what are the kind of our product, especially the green product that we want to produce and to market to the consumer out there. So I believe when we have a good information that we keep updates in our website, so I believe that the consumer out there, they able to get the information, because as we know, in nowadays, in current era, we are moving towards technology, use of technology in our daily life. So I believe that those kind of technology also do help us to attract the interest of the customer. Furthermore, as a brand manager, I also looking into the parts of marketing plan, which is I believe when we launch our product in certain store, maybe like we not able to catch or not to attract interest of the consumer out there. So I believe that when we open up stores, widely open, especially we have a collaboration with people known as Maidin, Eon Shopping Mall, Tesco, Giant, and so many others, and so many others part of the shopping complex. So I believe that people tend to know that our product can be accessed in various stores. So that's why we, as a brand manager, I believe that when we open up a collaboration to open a store widely, so the customer able to access and to obtain our green product. Besides, I also believe that the demand in the market will also increase over the time because of the product they're able to gain at various stores. And I also included in our marketing plan that placing of our green product in the online platform is actually helping us to also to attract their attention, because as we know, during in nowadays, which is regarding of CMCO, people or the customer, they tend to purchase the product, any kind of product, through online platform. So I believe that when we have a collaboration with online marketers such as online supplier, which is like Lazada or Shopee, so I believe that it can encourage the consumer to purchase our product or our product, which is green product, through online shopping. So moving on to the other part of the slide, which is the last part of the slide, which is conclusion. So in conclusion, a green product actually, it do provide a huge impact to our environment. As I mentioned before, a green product is actually made from a reusable and also recyclable materials, which is, it does not produce a toxic, it produce eco-friendly to our living things, to the living things out there. So a quick fact also, the government also provide a medium platform, also provide a platform which is to encourage local supplier or local marketers to produce a green product. And besides, the government also has also played their role or their part in order to promote the use and and purchasing of green product. So in conclusion, there's also a factor which is, as we have been mentioned above, which is the factors such as unavailability and also the unawareness of the consumer towards green product need to be highlighted and need to be tackled in order for them or for the other party to aware what kind of solution that they might need to tackle and need to react quickly towards the consumer. A research indicates that the relationship between purchasing behavior and the consumer satisfaction is not influenced by the factors such as age, income, gender, or even educational level. But however, the independent variable here that I want to highlight is that regarding of the level of satisfaction among the consumer towards the green product is actually a truly that need to be highlighted, because when, let's say, when a consumer they're satisfied with those certain kind of green product from other brand, so that's what lead them to purchase those product again and again and again. So those are the truly factors that affect the purchasing behavior among the consumer, and it is also been proven by the consumer that they are truly motivated to purchase for green product because of the ingredient used and also the effect that truly able to save use for any product, any other product. So that's from us, and thank you.